Hey, just finishing this claim to get Dave back on the road.
Nice. I wonder what Dave's doing.
You do your thing. We've got you covered.
Hey, is the power off on this?
I don't know. Just take it off.
Safety violation, unsafe work conditions.
In the construction trades unions, safety is our highest priority, and we train you to recognize and speak out on unsafe working conditions so that everyone arrives and goes home safely. Learn about careers in construction at georgiaconstructioncareers.com.
Happy Friday Eve. Welcome back to another episode of Keeping It Real with Najeh Wilkins, presented by GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com. Jam-packed show once again. We're going to talk to head coach from GAC, Tim Hardy. Appreciate him coming on the show. Highlight his program off to a phenomenal start. 6-0 so far this season. So we're going to talk to him. Second segment, we're going to look at some tapes. We got DJ Bordeaux from Alpharetta. We got John Seniors from Grayson. And then we got Savannah Christian, Jamari McIvory. So that'll kind of take up the second segment, and then we'll conclude with the top 10 headlines for the weekend presented by GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com. But without further ado, let's go ahead and bring on the head coach, Tim Hardy from GAC. Hey, Coach. Appreciate your patience. How you doing?
I'm great. Thanks for having me today.
Of course, Coach. You guys have been really impressive so far this season, 6-0. Just what stands out to you, Coach? What's kind of just allowed that great start to the season so far?
Well, I mean, some of this sounds cliche, but we've got a really good senior class. We virtually returned everyone from last year. We knew last year that we were young. And so with 21 and 22 starters coming back, just guys are experienced and really wanted to make this year special. And so, you know, the work in the weight room in the off season, an outstanding summer, and then just a desire to win, a will to win, a focus and purpose in the things we're doing. And so our guys are playing well as a group. They're playing hard, and they're buying into the things that are going on. And so I'm proud of the way they practice, proud of the way they game plan and study. And so far they've been able to perform well on Friday nights.
Yes, sir. And Coach, kind of walk me through kind of how was that summer for you? What were some things you guys did? Did you participate in a lot of 7-on-7, getting the reps for the quarterbacks and receivers? Was it a lot of, just different weight room things? What stands out about the summer that really kind of helped you guys gel?
Yeah, all of it's a real mix. I mean, obviously, in terms of the physical training, that's a year-round component. We've got a phenomenal strength coach, Sean Manuel. It's his second year here, and he's got sort of a national reputation. He's just done a great job of both building our players' bodies, but making them really injury resilient, and then also building their minds as well. And so he's done a great job, and that continues, and that was certainly part of the summer. We do a couple 7-on-7s. I think that's great to go and compete. We don't want to do too much of that, but a few. We went and won a tournament in Auburn, which was a great moment for our guys, just to experience winning and learning those small things. But a lot of it's just being here together, right? Just training together, working together, We take our seniors away on a retreat and get on the same page. We do a team camp with our team to really buy into what we want to do, and guys craft some goals and mindset for the year. So every piece comes together, right? Every ingredient sort of makes the recipe, if you would, for the team to be where it is. But excited about where we are. Know we've got a lot ahead of us.
Yes, sir. And then, Coach, you guys kind of set the tone to start the season, right? 39-14 victory against Meadow Creek. Just what stood out about that game? Big time win, and it's kind of, obviously went throughout the season and allowed you guys to kind of, play, kind of your best ball. What kind of stood out about that game?
Well, I mean, obviously a great start. The first game's always, it's fun. It's always a little nerve-wracking as a head coach as well, just not knowing exactly what you have and how your guys are going to perform with the speed of play. But we played really well that game defensively, created some opportunities for our offense, and got off to a good start. And I think that helped accelerate where we were. It was at home. We had lost over there. We're about 2 miles from Meadow Creek. So we don't interact with him a ton. I've got great respect for Todd Walford. He and I are good friends, and he's an outstanding coach. But we sort of lost the neighborhood rivalry last year, and our guys were motivated to start the year off to a good note, and we did. And that just built into our next games. And I feel like we've improved, each game. We've improved in different ways. We haven't always performed perfectly, obviously, but I continue to see an upward trend on both sides of the ball, and excited for that to continue.
Yes, sir. Now, Coach, I know you're also the athletic director, so this is a personal question. Just, Coach, how do you balance being the head coach of a program of GAC and also being the director of athletics? I know that's kind of probably a crazy day for you. How do you balance all that and make sure everything is in tune and that you're able to just get everything done on a daily basis?
Well, it can be a lot. I mean, the first thing, the reason if you're successful as a head football coach is you have a good staff, right? And so guys are doing a great job around you. And the same thing's true in the athletic department. I've got an athletic administrative assistant, Kathy Sisko, who lets me be the athletic director. I mean, she is absolutely amazing and does a great job. And I've got a nice team of people around me. And so we're really trying to plan ahead and work ahead the best that we can. They allow me on Friday night. I'm the athletic director. I'm the football coach, 100%. And so if we run out of, Cokes in the concession stand, or there's a long line at the ticket gate, I have no idea until Saturday morning when we sort of do a little debrief. But like anything, it's about surrounding yourself with good people. And we've got a good system here and a great team to be a part of. I do enjoy wearing both hats. Sometimes during the season, it's hard to wear both well, but a good team allows you to do that.
Certainly, Coach. And then speaking of your team, let's go back to the offensive side of the ball. You guys have been putting up a lot of points this season. Just what has impressed you with the offense, just them being able to score at a high rate, being efficient, and playing at a high level?
Yeah, we try to be diverse in what we do, and I really believe the one-dimensional team gets beat eventually, and so the ability to both run and throw the ball, and so I think we've got a nice mix. We've got a running back, GL Tiberius, having an outstanding senior year, and really running the ball well, and we've got a nice group of tight ends and who really allow us to be multi-formational. I think that's a big piece, and we're really talented out wide. Xavier Daisy, Gabe Daniels, and Braylon Burgess, 3 really good receivers, but it all didn't work without a quarterback playing well. So our quarterback, Jack Stanton, has played well. And so I think we have a lot of good pieces that work well together. In a given game, we may have, we'd be more rushing dominant. Another game, we may throw the ball a little bit more. I think that's part of what happens in the course of the game. But we want to have the ability to be balanced. And I'm proud of these guys. They've competed well, and they make a lot of things happen. It's amazing when you call a play and a good player executes. It's amazing how good it looks. So.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And actually, you brought me to my next point. I was going to ask about some of these players, and you mentioned just the balance and not being kind of a one-trick pony. And you mentioned how well your quarterback's playing, but just stepping in as a junior, getting those significant minutes, not always easy, right? But he's handled it well. He takes care of the ball. He gets the ball to your playmakers. Just what have you enjoyed most about just Jack Stanton and just his approach?
Yeah, one of the things, Jack loves football. And so to play that position, you've got to love football. That means you want to study it. You want to ask questions. You want to learn. You're willing to take criticism and be corrected. And he really loves football. He earned a lot of respect the entire time he's been here, but he earns it in the offseason. He works hard and he lifts hard and runs hard and does things. And so when we vote for captain, he receives more votes than anybody else. It's not just because QB's next to his name on the roster. He's earned that respect. And does a good job. Those guys, the number of times they throw in the off season and work on timing or come back after a play and talk through something. And so there's just great interaction between him and the other players. But I also think he's a guy that's not all about him, right? He understands that he's in one sense he's sort of the conductor of the offense, but man, you've got a lot of people playing their parts and playing their instruments, and realize there's some good players there. So I like the fact that our team is diverse in the things we can do. It's amazing what can get accomplished when nobody cares who gets the credit. And so we don't have guys that are complaining about touches or carries. Just want to see the Spartans come out on top in Friday night.
I mean, that's a good thing to have, Coach. I mean, got a lot of me now, so especially having a team that's bought in and that cares about Spartans and cares about winning is a good thing.
It is. I mean, the reality is, we tell the guys the more games we win, the more there is for everybody. So the bigger the pie gets, just the bigger your slice is going to be too. And that's really the case. And through my time here, as we've had, teams in the state championship or teams in the, deep in the playoffs in the Final Four, there's just a lot more opportunity when you're a better squad. So this is a good group, and we're excited about what's ahead of us here in the regular season. And as we take care of those things, the opportunity to play in the postseason as well.
Yes, sir. And then I want to talk about another player. Obviously, you mentioned him, Gilo Tiberia. I have not seen him play, Coach. So describe for me kind of his approach and kind of his mindset on a day-to-day basis. And then what is he more so, kind of a physical downhill runner, Coach? Or is he kind of a get him out the ball in space, can hurt you in the receiving game? What kind of a back is he, if you could describe him?
Yeah, GL's dynamic. So he's probably 5'9", about 175, 180 pounds. He's sort of packed together. Man, he is quick and explosive, and he is just a tough tackler. So he actually does a great job running the ball between the tackles, but has explosive speed, but just great short area quickness. And so a variety of things that he can do. He's an excellent competitor, so he's going to fight for every yard that's there. We do like using him in the passing game because he's great in space. And actually, sometimes maybe smaller backs aren't as good or as willing to be physical in pass protection. If you're going to be a balanced team and throw it, he does a great job in that. And so he's having an awesome senior year. It's fun to see him compete. And again, he's a little bit of his personality is a little bit of a quieter guy for us, but everybody loves him, and he's just all about business. And so fun to see him excel this season.
Yes, sir. And then I want to go to your playmakers now. You mentioned Xavier Daisy was having a really good season for you, but you said you got 3 really good elite receivers. So just how has that trio kind of been this year, and how good is it, Coach, or how nice is it to kind of have 3 receivers? Doesn't matter. Just give them the ball, and they can go to work.
Well, like I said, obviously players make plays, and it's fun to put them in a position to do that. Xavier's an outstanding player. There's 2 guys that I coached here that are currently playing in the National Football League, and Xavier's ball skills specifically are as good, if not better, than theirs at this age. His ability to track a ball and make a catch really is exceptional. And it's fun to see how much he's developed as a receiver. It's really his 3rd year of playing football. In the sophomore year, he was had a broken hand and only played as a backup on the defensive side. So he's still learning what to do. Our receivers coach, Justin Brown, has done an outstanding job training him and our receivers throughout the summer, during the season, and 4-on-1s, even in the offseason. He's done really well. Gabe has great speed. He was at N7 as a sophomore this past spring track, and has the ability to go and make plays. But it's fun to see him just pay attention to detail. Two games ago, he ran a great curl route where he read the window and went to the next spot, and the very next play, he caught a deep touchdown. I said, man, the 3rd down play before the touchdown was more impressive to me, but it's fun to see those guys learn the game and do that. And Braylon Burgess is a senior, who's a really good slot receiver for us. He was great last year. And talk about a guy who's super dependable, does the right thing in the right spots. It's tough as a blocker, which you need to be in the inside. And so it's a great group to work with.
Yes, sir. And then I want to move to the defensive side of the ball now. Obviously, I want to talk specifically about Reed Voiles, but before I talk about him, I want to give this to you, Coach, just to be able – I love giving exposure to kids and kind of highlighting. So, Coach, if you had to say, players on your team that's not talked about a lot, that's just been having a big impact, who are those players for you? Just guys flying under the radar that a lot of people don't know a lot about, but just having a big impact for you this season.
Yeah, I mean, in one sense, just be, completely transparent. A lot of it is the guys that we've said, because, again, you'll see a quarterback number, that kind of stuff. But a number of those guys. I think I'll transition to the defensive side of the ball. We'll talk about Reed. He's having an outstanding year. But, it starts up front. One of our defensive end, Bryce Zundu, is a fantastic player and really plays well. Our safety, Harrison Velsky is just, man, he's see ball, get ball kind of guy and does a great job. He's a Division I lacrosse commit at the University of Richmond, but on Friday nights, he's all about football. I can tell you that right now. And we've got two good corners on the edge, senior Miles Cunningham and then Denzel Watkins, who's a junior, or a sophomore rather. Both those guys do an outstanding job. I think one of the things that's great, probably my favorite 10 minutes of the week, is we'll do one-on-ones. And so it's those guys against those receivers we talked about, and they sort of have their favorite matchups, and those guys go at it. In the red zone, they really compete at a high level, and I think that's how the sharpen each other and continue to improve the season as well.
No, 100%. Iron sharpens iron, right?
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. And then speaking of Reed, I mean, last year he played a little bit for you as a freshman, but, I mean, he looked like he's really taken – what he took from freshman year and applied it to sophomore year. I mean, he's flying around to the ball, leading you in tackles. Just what has his impact just been, and how quickly did you kind of see it kind of click for him going into his sophomore year?
Yeah, no doubt. So, again, last year, Reed played quite a bit for us as a freshman, a true freshman playing inside backer. That's relatively rare, but he has such a good feel for the game. And he was a really good player for a freshman. This year, he's a complete
Okay, that was Coach. We're going to try to bring him back, let him talk about Reed Voiles in a second. Look, he kind of cut out on us. But, again, I mean, GEC just having a phenomenal year, 6-0, 2-0 in region play right now. I know they got a bye week, which I'm asking them about as well, just to see, how they're preparing. But they got a big matchup against North Springs, who is still undefeated in region. And then that big-time one I got circled is against Kale. And that's kind of a matchup hopefully we'll be able to see. So when I've got circled, I think that's probably going to be for the region championship. Two phenomenal teams this year. And as you mentioned, a team that's just bought in and really believe in the Spartan way. So we'll see if we can bring them back. But just their win so far this season, 39-14 against Meadow Creek, as he talked about, 38-13 win against Lovett, beat Pace Academy, good rivalry right there too, 17-14. They got a really loaded team, obviously. Jordan Burns, gosh, I'm missing his name. It's Clemson commit. Heaven Brown Schuler. They beat Decatur pretty good, 31-17, and then won against Northview. The real one is obviously the big win against Cambridge, 30-3. I mean, holding that Cambridge offense to 3 points. Has a lot of playmaker. Craig Dondell Jr., Hudson Cochera. I mean, holding them to 3 points. I mean, defense is definitely doing this thing. So they are having a great season so far. Any news on Coach? Still frozen? Okay. Let me see if I can tell him to rejoin. Okay, so we're going to keep rolling. Okay, guys, so actually I did a poll for you guys. We'll talk about that before we can see if we can get them back on. So appreciate everybody tuning in. So go vote, guys. I did a poll on YouTube, which is currently streaming on. Who will win the Cartersville versus Cass matchup on Friday night? Make sure you go vote. Go comment down below. You're watching live. Cass, Cartersville, this Friday at 8 p.m. on Peachtree Sports Network. Comment. Go vote. There's a poll on the YouTube page right now. Go vote who you got coming out on top. See who's going to win that game. We're going to take one quick short break, though, and wait on the other side, see if we can get Coach back. If not, we're going to keep rolling. But we're going to take a quick short break, thank our sponsors, and be back on the other side.
What you doing?
Hey, just finishing this claim to get Dave back on the road.
Nice. I wonder what Dave's doing.
You do your thing. We've got you covered.
Hey, does it matter if this leaks?
It don't matter to me. Can't see it from my house.
Illegal use of hands, improper training.
GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com has 14 different highly skilled trades with tuition-free training in our certified apprenticeship programs to train you the right way. Find your career at GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com.
Okay, so we're going to wait a couple more minutes, see if we can get Coach back on. If not, we're going to keep it rolling. But second segment, as I mentioned at the start of the show, we're going to look at alpha-rated quarterbacks, DJ Bordeaux. I know he's about to join soon and start watching, but really impressed with his tape. You got him? Yeah. Okay, let's see if we bring him back. Okay, hey, Coach, sorry about that.
Man, technology, friend or foe. I apologize. Probably something I apologize about that. So
no worries, Coach. It happens. It's no problem at all, Coach. But I know we left off on Reed Boyles. Yeah, you said he started as a freshman for you, inside backer.
Yep.
But yeah, just what did you see from freshman year and just kind of the steps he took forward and when it started to click, kind of going into sophomore year as well?
Yeah, just like I said, just one of the stronger kids on our team, so really physical. But this year his confidence is so high because he's experienced, and so he's able to play faster. So whether that's diagnose a play, whether that's get to his gap where he needs to be, and then just when he gets there, he's there with a bad attitude. And so really, we were playing well inside. It really matters. We're a 3-4 team, and so those guys make so many of the plays. But he's playing at a really high level, and proud of Reed.
Yes, sir. And then I want to talk real quick about the game last week. You guys played against Cambridge. It was a 30-3 victory for your team. I mean, defensively, 3 points. I mean, that's a pretty high-powered offense, and they could score kind of at will. But your defense, kind of clamped down. Just what stood out about that game? How impressed were you with just the defensive performance?
Yeah, it was outstanding. Our guys did a great job. Our defensive coordinator, Josh Aldrin, really is a good coach and just does a great job of trying to play within our players' strengths and weaknesses, and so it's really wise in some of his choices. Is also diverse enough that it's not easy to pick up on all the time. So doing a really good job. Players believe in what's happening and felt good. And so we played well last Friday. We were physical, pursued the ball well, and it was a nice performance.
Yes, sir. And then you got this week off, Coach. I think you play North Springs next week. So just what's some things you've been working on this week? I know usually bye weeks just kind of rest, recover. But how's practice kind of been this week? What have you kind of just enjoyed seeing from your group in the bye week?
Yeah, it's been good. We went Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, sort of gave them off today, JV game, and then give them tomorrow off because they don't play. And yeah, just for us, it's always just trying to improve ourselves. And so a lot of competition, a lot of situational stuff, sort of live scrimmage in different situations. So much of the game, and especially when you start getting to this time of the year where you're playing critical region games or you get in the playoffs, it comes down to a situation, a 2-minute red zone, even 2-point plays, whatever it may be. And so working on that menu, both offensively, working on defending those things, end of game plays. So a lot of focus on situational work, as well as just increased sort of individual skill time. So you're at this point of the season, but we're dealing with 16, 15-year-olds out here. There's a lot of room for improvement. And so the chance to go ahead and put them in spots where we can expand some of the individual time because we're not scheming for a specific opponent. But yeah, it's good for them to get a little break, both physically and mentally, get away, and then loop back in for a stretch run. We play North Springs next week. Kell after that. We've got an outstanding team, and then Chattahoochee and Centennial is how we finish the regular season. So a lot of work ahead of us. Excited about where we are, but know there's some big games ahead for sure.
Yes, sir. And then what's kind of your quick thoughts on the matchup against North Springs? Obviously, I know you're doing more preparatory work this weekend and obviously early next week, but just what stands out about that matchup real quick?
Yeah, new coach there, and so there's doing some things differently than they did in the past. I got some nice athletes on the edge, and get some guys that can run. And so the thing I think is so critical about football is, man, you got to realize that you have to win every moment all the time. Like, you really have to play in a physical manner to create opportunities for yourself. If you're moving the ball, you've got to play in a physical manner to dictate to on the line of scrimmage on the defensive side. And so, excited to get back out and compete and play our best, but obviously great respect for our opponent. We're this region, we're playing teams we've never played before. Again, we played them last year, but it'll be our first time going over to North Springs. So new experience there. But looking for a good week of prep next week and get back out there next Friday night.
Yes, sir. Well, a couple more questions, Coach. I'll let you go. One, just what were some of those goals you kind of just set forth for the season? I mean, 6-0, off to a great start. Just what are some things you want to achieve in 2023?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I'm not overly specific maybe with goals for our guys. I think you look back at the end of the year and say, did we maximize what we had? Did we take the opportunities we had? Did we take the skill we had and become the best that we can become? And I feel like we're on the path to do that right now. Obviously, there's never a game you step out there that you don't want to win. And so we've won 6. We're excited about that. We want to try to do our best to win each one of the ones in front of us. And so obviously a region championship would be a goal for us. It would be exciting to get that. So that's sort of the goal ahead of us. And then if you do that, or obviously you qualify for the playoffs, then you set new goals and try to go from round 1 to round 2 to round 3 to round 4 to get a chance to play in the Benz and bring home the big trophy. So it really is that sort of, it's the cliches. The cliches are there for a reason, right? One step at a time, one game at a time kind of approach. But right now we're in the heart of the region season, and so the focus is the pursuit of a region championship.
Yes, sir. And then last question, Coach, just as a father, as a parent, how cool is it to see your son just kind of balling out at UNC and just being able to see him play, 2 sons play there? Just how cool is it to see them kind of play at the next level and be successful? How cool is that as a parent?
It's good, man. Our falls are adventurous, and so we're rocking and rolling. It's funny. 2 weeks ago, we usually travel. Like we'll be at Syracuse. They host Syracuse tomorrow. A lot of times we're on a plane on Saturday morning, maybe flying to the University of Richmond. My older son plays quarterback there. But 2 Saturdays ago, it's like, hey, it's gonna be peaceful. We're gonna take it easy and hang out. My daughter's a senior here and plays on our volleyball team. We have a great volleyball program. She's in the Gwinnett County tournament. We leave. My other son game comes on. The games go late. We're watching it on the phone. My wife was watching on the phone while I was driving. Let's be clear on that. As we're on our way home, we get home. It's sort of a stressful game. That ends. We're like, oh, that was exhausting. And then UNC and Pitt come on. And so we turn around. It's 11 p.m. And I'm like, I am exhausted. Like this is stressful. When your kids out there, it feels a little different. Your coach, you're in control, right? At least you're under the illusion that you're in control. But it's awesome. I'm so proud of all 3 of ours. They do a great job competing. They love to play, and I love watching them. And so we do the best we can to be there to support them. Sometimes just my schedule, I'm not able to, and my wife will go without me. But this weekend will be a beautiful day, Saturday afternoon in Chapel Hill, and looking forward to watching Will run around to get after it.
Yes, sir. Well, congrats on that, Coach, and good luck the rest of the way. Appreciate you taking the time to highlight your program and just talk a little bit about the Spartan way and how you guys do things, and just a great start to the season. So thanks again, Coach, for coming on.
Well, I appreciate you having me. Love what you do for college or high school football, rather. Georgia is a great state and deserves great coverage like this. So thanks for your time.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Coach. All right. There goes Coach Hardy. Man, that's a busy man. 3 kids playing really well right now, as he mentioned, kind of having his daughter playing volleyball, his 2 sons playing college football, one at Richmond, one at UNC. He's also an athletic director, and he's the football head coach for the Spartans. So I'm sure his schedule is very, very busy, and he does a great job of that. Good luck the rest of the way for them. Man, he's just doing a special job there with the program. So really, really great. I could tell just talking to him, really great person, great man, and a great father figure as well. So go Spartans. Good luck the rest of the way. All right, we'll leave that there. We're going to move to our second segment, man. We got some tape to analyze. I'm so excited. I know the players are tuned in. We're going to look at 3 different clips. One starting with DJ Bordeaux for Alpharetta High School. Then we'll move to Savannah Christian Prep. Jamari McIvory, he got some impressive tape. And then John Senior's his game against Newton. Some really great clips that I broke down that really stood out, and then continue with the show. So let's go ahead. Look at the film for Alpharetta QB, DJ Bordeaux. Quick standouts real quick before we roll the tape. Phenomenal ball placement, guys. His throw off the run is very, very elite. Huge upside. I think a difference maker. Great escapability. And one of these highlights I slowed down, it's against a 5-star player. And you don't see this happen a lot. And the 5-star player is elite. Like, he's just next level. I mean, he's going to go play, on the next level at a Power 5 program. And what he does, I mean, is just incredible. So we're going to roll this tape. All right, DJ Bordeaux. Here we go. All right, right here, stand in the pocket. Look at him kind of come up. Good pocket awareness. Throw a laser right down the field. Great play right there. A little play action right here. Look at him extend. Look at his throw off the run. I mean, just throws it effortlessly right on the dime. Great throw right there. That's Sean Wilson he's throwing to. Boom. Right here. We actually slowed this down. I'm going to break this play down just a little bit more. Pause it right quick, Craig. So, right here, I think he does a good job. It's hard to tell, but I looked at this a couple times. It looks like right here that he kind of fools the safety at the top. I wish I had a little marker that I could highlight him, but if you look at the safety at the top of the screen, he's kind of confused, and so is the corner. So this looks like a cover 3. And what happens is Ethan Barber is right in the middle of the field. He's going to run a seam route, and then you have your other receiver kind of running the route too. So you really have multiple places you can go with the football. And then you have your overlapping tight end kind of below, but 2 defenders are going to take him. So it really opens up. I think he does a good job of not telegraphing his throw. He sees Barber. He sees his other receiver. He's going to hit Barber over the seam route. Does a good job of just kind of fooling that safety up the top of the screen because he's like, which one do I cover? There's confusion. He does a good job. You can roll it for me, Craig. So slow down. You see right there, he got 2 guys open. Safety's like, okay, I'm in a rock and a hard place. Do I guard Ethan Barber or do I guard the receiver? So both throws wouldn't have mattered. Right here, just a routine throw right across the middle of the field. Give it to number 0. Let him do his thing. That's the Georgia commit, Ethan Barber right there. Right here, just getting out of his hands quick. Letting Barber make a play. I mean, it looks like a receiver out there. I mean, he's just running in space. Great throw right there. Boom. Look at that kind of just pocket awareness. Elude the rush. Get out of his hands. Nice throw right there. Play action. Here comes the rush. Boom. Look at that move he made on the defender. Turns it into a first down. Nothing downfield. Doesn't force the play. This against Cambridge. Boom. Look at that move. We got another move right here. Look at this. Slowed it down. Woo. Man, touching air right there, man. I mean, that's just next level. Great play right there. Boom. Slips out, but look at him deliver a dime. Oh, man. Now, that could have been a negative play, but slips, still throws a dime. Right here, effortless motion throwing. Hits his receiver in stride. Look at the receiver turn into a big play right there. Boom. Here comes the rush again. Look at this throw off the run. Look at this effortless. Oh. Accurate, lets his receiver make a play right down in the red zone. Boom. I mean, I just love his throwing motion. Comes out so easy and quick. Right out of his hands. Great downfield throw. Right here, slowed it down. Just love the effortless motion of the throw. Look where he hits the receiver, Wilson. Boom. Only where he can get it. Defender has no chance. Allow him to make a play on the ball. Turn it in. Now, this is Sammy. No, I'm going to actually, Craig, I'm going to have you go back a little bit and pause it so I can break down that play as well. Okay. So I want to break this down specifically. Pause it right there. So this is the 5-star player I was telling you about. That's Sammy Brown for Jefferson. Next level player, Clemson commit. Now, this was a great job defensively by the coordinator having this schemed up, right? Because it's going to be a free rusher. Now, the running back is supposed to pick him up. But again, this is Sammy Brown, guys. You're not going to block him. So he tries to chip him. It doesn't work. But look at the move he make. Now, I know it's subtle. It wasn't kind of the play he had earlier where he shook the defender out of his shoes. But just the subtleness of him kind of just stepping up, moving to his left, kind of getting Sammy off of him, and then making a downfield throw is just next level. You can roll it, Craig. Okay, boom. So here he comes. Just that subtle movement right there. Steps up, throws off the run, accurate throw. Let your wide receiver go make a play right in the red zone. That is not easy to do. Right here, just play action, hit his receiver in stride, let him go make a play. A lot of weapons on that alpha with the offense. Right here again, look at the ball placement. Boom. Only where his receiver can get it. I mean, that's elite ball placement. Okay, Craig, I'm going to have you pause this one. Right there. Just going to hold. Pause that. Now, as you see, that tight end, this is another elite ball placement throw. And the reason I say that is because if he throws that too far inside, that's a pick by the corner. So this is an excellent way to throw a back shoulder fade. That's basically what he does here. He throws it to the back shoulder only where his receiver / tight end can get it. Phenomenal throw right there. I held it because if you look at it, we're going to roll it twice so you can see it as well. If he throws too far inside, that's a pick. Has to throw it back shoulder to his outside for it to be a touchdown. Boom. Here it is again. So you see, if he throws too far inside, that's a pick. Potentially a pick 6. Look at him throw on the back shoulder of the receiver. Phenomenal throw right there from DJ Bordeaux. Boom. See, the defender tried to get it, but it was so well timed and well thrown. Can't get it. Right here again, hit his receiver in stride. I mean, you look at all his throws, it's the same thing. Hit his receiver in stride. Great elite ball placement. Right here, nothing's there. He's waiting. Does a good job. Still looking downfield. Makes the laser throw. I mean, just an elite playmaker with the ball. It reminds you of several NFL quarterbacks. Right here, just a beauty. Double coverage. Oof. Only where the receiver can get it. That is not easy to do. Right here, steps up in the pocket. Hits his receiver. Nice play right there. Boom. And the final one, look at that elite ball placement. Just right back pylon, only where he can get it. Same thing here. Throw off the run. Hit his receiver. First down pickup. Easy money right there. Boom. Nice little hitch route. Gets it out of his hands quick. Phenomenal play. Right here, he's just going to make a play with his legs. Showing that he can do the kind of the dual threat ability and also run out the pocket. So, I mean, man, some phenomenal film from DJ. And what stands out to me real quick is just elite ball placement. He's only a sophomore, so he's going to continue to get better. He's going to take, some of the hits he gets and be able to kind of take that, to the next level next year. And he's going to be even better. And I think that's the good thing. He's going to be even better. He's obviously going to miss. I think Sean Wilson is a senior, so he won't have him as a playmaker. Somebody else will have to step up. But he will have Ethan Barber for another year. So I think a nice arm. Has a really quick release. That one play I slowed down. If you guys go back and look at it, I mean, it comes out of his hands so quickly. I mean, it's just next level how quickly it comes out of his hands. So, kid has huge upside. I think a difference maker. Phenomenal arm. Great escapability. And you see most of the time when he escapes, he's really looking to try to throw the ball down the field, right? Hit his receivers in stride. Reliable, I think. Throw off the run is elite as well. And can also scamper and pick up a first down if need be. So, I mean, this kid has a bright future. On 3 Chad Simmons was at his school this past week. Did a little interview with him. So that goes to show you he's already on radars. If On 3's there looking at him, definitely has a high potential. So, DJ, keep doing your thing, man. Bright future. And you're going to definitely be one of those players, those prospects people are going to be looking for. And I don't know where his offers stand right now. I haven't looked, but they're going to be there. So keep doing your thing, DJ. Phenomenal quarterback. Really enjoy looking at your phone. Now, we're going to roll the tape for the next player, Jamari McIvory. Not talked about a lot because their front seven's so elite, right? You got LaDainian Guyton, the freshman phenom, and you got Elijah Griffin, right? Potentially 2 players. Well, obviously, Elijah Griffin's already the top player in the state, top player in the country in the 2025 class. I think LaDainian Guyton is going to be the same thing. So he doesn't get talked about a lot. But, I mean, you talk about elite cover skills, ball skills, just always around the ball, just creating turnovers, PBUs. Jamari McIvory gets it. And right now, tied 3rd in the state in interceptions with 5. He was featured in my recruiting intel story today. If you haven't checked that out, go look at it, scoreatl.com. But let's roll this tape. All right here, you're going to see that elite track speed. You're just going to see kickoff return, does a good job. Following his blocks, just turns on the jets. He's gone. He's out of there. Easy tutty right there. Okay, right here, you're going to kind of see the receiver pushes off the defender. Look at him go get the football, locate it, and turn it into a big play for Savannah Christian. Get them right into the red zone. I mean, and he's not looking to go down. This kid is looking to score. Let's look at it again. Look at him just read that and go get it. Now, if he's not there, that's a catch for the wide receiver. He's elite at covering the ball and looking at the ball. All right, here goes another one. QB scrambling out, throwing it deep. He's going to be right there. Look at him jump, go get the ball, and then go down right there. But, again, a great coverage right there. Here, just an overthrow. Boom, right place, right time, and look what he's doing with the ball. It's blocked up real good. He is looking to score. All right, right here, you're going to see a little bit of offense. Just a little PA crosser right there. I mean, just easy money. Got too much speed. Go right across the middle of the field. Easy tutty right there. And you see Savannah Christian uses them in different ways. You see a little bit of a reverse right here. They're going to follow his blocks, break some tackles, turn into a nice game right there. Same thing right here. Look at that. 1, 2 missed tackles. Following the third one brings them down. So Savannah Christian likes to use them in different ways. Right here, you're going to see a nice stick. Good job coming down, laying the hit. That's not easy to do. Right here, go see him in the Z at the slot. Does a good job right there. Nice little post route, skinny post, right over the middle of the field. Now this play, Craig, I'm going to have you roll back. I got to talk about the significance of this play. All right, again, you see the skinny post right over the middle of the field. Now pause it for me. This is against Calvary Day. Now, you know who Calvary Day has. Again, they did win the game, 42-21. But this was the first time, I think, in over 159 attempts that Jake Merklinger, the Tennessee commit, had not thrown an interception. Look at him just read his eyes. Now, I get it. Jake did the right thing, right? Jake's like, okay, 55 is coming down on me. I'm about to get this out of my hands. But Jamari McIvory is going to read his eyes. He's just thinking, okay, boom, I got a quick play right here. I know 55's on me. Let me just get it out of my hands. But he's going to read it so well and just turn it into a pick six. You can roll it crazy. I mean, phenomenal play. Boom. Reads it, takes it away from the receiver. And I'm about to house this. I'm turning this into a big play. We had to do different angles because it kind of got cut off. But look, Jake's trying to get out of his hands quick. Boom. Just beat the wide receiver to the spot. I'm going to take it from you. I'm going to house this all the way to the crib, to the apartments. I mean, easy money right there. And he has some impressive tape. As I mentioned, tied third overall in the state in interceptions. So his ball making skills, you've seen it on the first play, right? The receiver pushes off. Still, it doesn't matter. He's going to go. He locates the football. Ball's in the area. He's looking. Boom, I'm going to go get it. Easy money right there. Now, I've already mentioned he's a ball hawk. Elite cover guy and great ball skills. And I think his anticipation is at another level too. I mean, that is phenomenal as well for McIvory. Great hitter too. We've seen that as well on his tape. But the standout is the track speed. Now, Craig, I bet you did not know this. He won the 400-meter and the 200-meter in his track state championships this past spring. So you've seen kind of that track speed on some of that film, right? You've seen it on the kickoff return. You've seen it on the pick six. As soon as he gets it, that's 90-plus yards. He takes it all the way to the house. Nobody's catching him. So he doesn't get talked about a lot, but I think he's one of the best defenders on that team. I know it's heavily talented. It's heavily recruited, right? They got Damon Guidon, as I mentioned. They got Elijah Griffin, but this is another guy that's kind of that guy. Okay, hey, I'm playing safety. I'm playing DB. If Guidon can't get there, then you got a guy that can just eat up a lot of space defensively, can play that single high, probably could play a lot of cover three with him because he could be on one side of the field and then use that track speed to get on the other side of the field. You know what I'm saying? So, and he's always looking to kind of make it into a big play and make it into a turnover. So this kid is elite. I got to talk to him a little bit. He's already had an unofficial visit to South Carolina. He has one coming up on November 4th, as I mentioned in the article, going to UAB. He also has one this weekend for track. He's going to go to Troy University for a track unofficial visit as well. So kid's elite in track as well. So he'll have a decision to make of what he wants to do. Other teams are interested in him. He had an unofficial visit to Northern Illinois as well. Really enjoyed it there. And then he also had some other visits he's done as well. He has offers from right now Wayne University and Shorter University. I expect his recruiting to kind of heat up a little bit. Still early. Sometimes you see 2024 is in late November, December. They can pick up offers. Kids should be playing, I think, on the next level. At least, D1, I believe so. So, real quick about his elite cover skills. I asked him just kind of how are you able to do it. He says, I study a lot of game film with the coaches, and I have good speed to cover ground. As I mentioned, can play that kind of cover three, one side of the field. He can get all the way back. That's Ed Reed type stuff. I think he has a little bit of that in him. Says Savannah Christian also has one of the best front sevens in the state. When the ball goes up, I'm looking to go up and get the ball. And as you see in this tape, that is what he's looking to do. Phenomenal player for the Savannah Christian Prep. He's the guy to know on the defensive side of the ball. Very elite player. All right, we got one more tape we're going to roll. John Senius from Grayson had a big kickoff return for a touchdown and a really elite catch. So we're going to roll that real quick, talk about his tape a little bit. Right here, we're going to show this from some different angles real quick. Kind of threw it up from quarterback. Look at him just sky up, go get the football. Again, we talked about him a couple weeks ago, just his ability to high point the football and his speed. We're going to roll another angle. Not easy to do. Look at him just go up, go get it, and then look what he turns it into. Defender's coming right here. He's going to drag him into the end zone, reach it over, get the touchdown. I mean, big-time play right there from John Senius. All right, here's his kickoff return. We know he already has 2 on the season so far. Here's another angle right here. I'm surprised he did not score here. I mean, but look, the defender slowed him down a little bit right there. But just phenomenal play. We're going to slow it down. Look at him just read the blockers. Boom, blocked that well, broke that one tackle. Just waiting on 5 to make the block. defender's going to trip him up a little bit. I think if you don't trip him up, he scores. Speed is just too dynamic. But, I mean, that's a big play. I mean, you're starting on the opponent's 30-yard line. I mean, I analyzed his tape before, but just my thoughts on those quick clips. I mean, again, he's one of those receivers, 6'1". He can go up and go get the ball. I think that's what makes him so elite, right? He's a red zone threat. He also can beat you with his speed. He can run slants, hitches, crossers, posts, and beat you with his speed. But also in the red zone, I mean, if you throw him a fade ball or, just anything, a back pylon thing where he has to go up and get the ball, I mean, he can do it. And then the return game, I mean, that's just next level, right? As you've seen, already 2 kickoff returns for a touchdown. He had 1 against Elsa. He had 1 against Walton. And then that one right there should have been 1 against Newton. So just phenomenal player. Does it well. I think if you're Grayson, obviously they run the ball well. We're going to talk about the matchup against Newton and break it down. But I think you just got to find more ways to get him the ball, right? Big game, 4 catches, 73 yards and a touchdown. Good game from him against Newton. They just got to get him the ball more. I mean, as you can see from the tape, give him the ball, see what happens, right? He's going to turn into a big play. Phenomenal play, just high pointing the football, going to go get it, and just making a difference. So, phenomenal player, man. Love always looking at this tape. He wanted me to look at it this week, so really enjoyed that. All right, we're going to keep rolling. Lee County versus House County. Let's do a quick recap. Obviously, I know both of these teams played last week. They're moving on to this week, but I know the game was in Middle Georgia, but, I mean, man, you could sign me up for this matchup every year. I mean, it's just a great back-and-forth affair between 2 elite teams. I love the speed that Houston County has on the outside, right? Ricky Johnson and then Kel Woodburn. Woodburn just took a screenplay, and, I mean, he just completely just jets past 2 defenders. Like, it's not, he wasn't even waiting on blocks. Like, as soon as he caught it, he made his step, and he was gone. So, I mean, that speed and playmaking ability they got on the outside, that really helps them. I think Ryan Talib, their running back, is a really underrated kid. He does a lot of things well, right? He gets those tough yards, and he's one of those players you just keep feeding him. As the game goes on, keep feeding him, he's going to bust a big one. And we've seen a couple of those in the third quarter and the fourth quarter. So I think they continue to just feed him the ball, they'll be just fine. Now I'm going to mention a point, and Craig brought it up, and I think Craig brings up a great point. They got to let Antoine Hill run the ball more. He needs to be a bigger piece of the running game, right? And the reason I say that is because the offensive line kind of struggled a little bit towards the end of that game if you go and look at it, right? And Leroy Jackson just starts to tee off on the left tackle, right? And, I mean, he had easily 2.5 sacks towards the end of that game. I mean, they had 5 sacks in 3 drives, and that made the difference in the game. Like, you can't get the ball to your playmakers. You're constantly in the backfield. It makes it tough for Hill. So when you have that, I think as an offense, it's easier to move forward instead of backwards, right? It's easier to run protect, or to run block, I should say, than to pass protect, right? So when you're having that to neutralize a great pass rush, right, you got to run the ball, right? You got to run the ball at them. And I think, obviously, it wasn't a lot of time on the clock, but the other 2 drives that stalled, if they would have ran it a little bit more, I think that would have kind of helped them. And then if you have just certain QB design runs, right, let's say a QB design run, or if you have a read option play where you kind of make that edge rusher decide, hey, am I going to get the running back or am I going to get the quarterback? I think it opens up the offense. And we've seen that Hill already has this ability, right? He had a 20-yard run for a touchdown early on in the game, right? Now, I know you want to conserve him. He can throw the ball well. He's a heavily talented player, 4-star player. But I think if you throw in a little wrinkles in there, a little bit of window dressing, a little bit of let's run him the ball a little bit more, he don't need 20 carries, right? You got Ryan Talib for that. But maybe like 5 to 8 carries a game. I think that would open up the offense a little bit. Offensive line struggling, you leaning on them a little bit more with the run. You allowing them to kind of move forward and block those guys like Leroy Jackson, that elite kind of defensive line that Lee County has. I think one of the most sacked teams, or one of the teams in the state that has the most sacks. So when you can run the ball with Antoine Hill and Ryan Talib, I think it would have been a different outcome for them. So nonetheless, I think that's what they got to do a little bit more. But overall, they got a great team. I mean, they got playmakers on the outside. They got guys that can get it to in the run game, but just incorporate Hill a little bit more. You'll be just fine. That kid's elite, man. So that's my standout for that one. And then last thing, man, Usman Kroma is just a guy. I mean, coming into that game, he's banged up. 75%. Had a strained calf, and you run for 327 yards and 4 touchdowns? I mean, man, that's next level. And then his game-winning run where he just carries defenders into the end zone, just relentless. I mean, that's what you want out of your running back. He won Georgia High School Football Daily Player of the Week. That was presented by Ted Langford. I think also was presented sponsor with Sports Turf as well. I mean, the kid is just next level, man. He really impressed me, man. And as he mentioned, it just talked about his Muslim faith a little bit and just his belief in God just really helped power him through the game. That's not easy to do, man. Strained calf. We've seen NFL players with strained calf, and they're kind of struggling. Obviously, that's a different level, but as a running back, and you put up that kind of performance, hey, that's nothing short of spectacular. So I was really impressed with his performance. He had a great game. That's a kid that whatever college gets him, as a couple guys I talked to on the sideline said, they're getting a really great player and a really great kid. I think is the most important thing. So he really stood out to me. Big time game for him. And that's what stands out about kind of that matchup between Houston and Lee. Now we're going to talk about Newton upset real quick. Or just not even an upset, but just Newton's big win, right? And they got several notable wins, right? They've beaten Grayson so far, and they've beaten Westlake, right? Two teams' playoff aspirations have been at least in the quarters or semifinals the last couple of seasons. I mean, Zion Johnson does it once again, rushed for 116 yards and a touchdown. The thing that's most surprising, though, is Grayson gave up 557 total yards. How many times can you say that about a Grayson defense? You don't say that a lot, right? And that's surprising because the week before, they completely blanked Lowndes, right? I don't think Lowndes scored 88 yards. 28 yards in the first half. When have you known a Grayson defense to give up that much yards? That's not a thing you see a lot. So I think they got to be better, obviously, there. But I trust in their defense. There's too much speed. They got one of the best linebackers in the country, regardless of class, and Tyler Atkinson. Started as a freshman. He just really gets it. Got some good playmakers also on the defense side of the ball, some good corners. They'll figure it out. But, excuse me, that just surprised me to see kind of that number, 557. So I think this Newton team is just the real deal. And Grayson rushing game continues to be good. Dylan Eller had 92 yards. They rushed for 200 yards in the game. They actually outrushed Newton, believe it or not, in that game. 200 yards and 2 touchdowns for the Grayson offense. The thing I think, though, and I still like Grayson. They're still one of my sleepers out of 70. Not a lot of people are talking about them. I still think they have the potential to be able to beat somebody and be able to upset somebody. They have too much speed and a lot of athletes that can make a difference. I just think they need to, obviously, I know they're predominantly known for the run, but they should air out the ball a little bit more. As I mentioned about seniors, give him the ball in space, let him do his thing. They got a 4-star player in Colin Fox, right? If you go back and look at the tape I analyzed earlier on DJ Bordeaux, you see Ethan Barber get him the ball. You got to get Colin Fox the ball, right? And he's one of those guys, he's a red zone threat, but he could do the same thing Barber was just doing, right? Turning those short plays, those 5, 6, 7-yard hitches in the big 15, 20, 25, 30-yard gains, right? He's that dude. 1 catch, 3 yards. That's just not acceptable. Now, I get you running the ball, but you got to get him more involved. I mean, you got too many players, too many athletes on that team not to get on the ball. So, obviously, they got good balance, but they need to pass a little bit more, I think. Lean on Jeff Davis. Jeff Davis having a good season, right? 14-plus touchdowns, no interceptions. He's doing good. Let him air out the ball a little bit more. But I think Grayson will be fine. They'll rebound from it. They're still a playoff team in my book. Phenomenal coach, Centavious Bryant, first-year head coach, only 28 years old. They'll figure it out, man. They'll be better and better. That Grayson team got talent. I keep telling y'all, next year, regardless of what happens this year, I still think they'll make some noise. Next year, man, I'm telling you, that 2027 class that Grayson got, seen them up close and personal, they are special. They're going to have some dudes that are going to be playing the sophomores next year. Y'all going to see what I'm talking about. That team is going to be dangerous. They're going to be next level. Trust me. Now, for right back quick to Newton, that matchup in a couple weeks, it's going to be intriguing, right? Newton's still undefeated at 6-0. Craig had him on yesterday. Go back and check out that interview with the head coach, Joshua Skelton. It was a really good one. Go back and check that out on our YouTube page. That matchup in 2 weeks, though, against Parkview, that's going to be interesting, right? Because Parkview is looking to kind of win the region. They're having a pretty good season, 5-1, only lost to Mill Creek. They got athletes, right? But can Newton kind of make it a game where they lean on the running and attack and kind of just, running on them, right? Kind of just out-physical them, right? And kind of just lean on Zion Johnson and lean on the quarterback. In that game against Grayson, they threw for over 300-plus yards. So they could throw it, too. If you're going to stack the box, they can beat you throwing the football as well. So I think that's going to be interesting to see who comes out on top in that potential region matchup between those two programs. That's going to be intriguing. And to be honest, Craig, before we go to break, it's a lot of good matchups October 20th, right? You got the GAC Cal game. Cal's 5-1, GAC 6-0. Just talked to their head coach. You got the Newton Parkview game. You got the Sandy Creek Cedar Grove. I mean, it's a lot of good games on October 20th during our Hall of Fame week. I mean, elite. I remember that. Yeah, Craig brings up a great point. 2018 victory for Newton last year against Parkview. So that's going to be an intriguing matchup. That could potentially be for the region. So we're going to see. We're going to take one more quick break and conclude with the top 10 headlines for the weekend presented by GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com. We'll see you in a second.
What you doing?
Hey, just finishing this claim to get Dave back on the road.
Nice. I wonder what Dave's doing.
It's a part of Cartersville. Get him.
You do your thing. We've got you covered.
Hey, is the power off on this?
I don't know. Just take it off.
Safety violation, unsafe work conditions.
In the construction trades unions, safety is our highest priority, and we train you to recognize and speak out on unsafe working conditions so that everyone arrives and goes home safely. Learn about careers in construction at GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com.
All right, so back from break, we're about to conclude the show again. If you're watching live, go vote on the YouTube page. Who's going to win tomorrow's game? That is up right now, Cartersville versus Cass. We got one vote right now. Cartersville is leading right now with 100%, so we'll see how that poll ends out. But go vote right now if you're watching Cartersville, Cass, on Peachtree Sports Network, on several channels, on Comcast, on Spectrum. That's all linked on our Instagram page, so go check that out. Go vote who you got winning that major matchup on TV tomorrow. All right, top 10 headlines for the weekend presented by GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com. Let's go ahead and get into it. Number one, big-time region matchup. Miller Grove versus Holly Innocence. Major matchup, I say, because if you're Holly Innocence, you do not want to go 0-2 in region play. Often struggle against Westminster. Westminster won that game 9-3. Holly Innocence only had 11 yards passing total. So, can they find their groove against Miller Grove? You know, they lead a lot on Jacoby Murray for Holly Innocence. He rushed for 82 yards. Star defensive lineman committed to Stanford. Got Zach Jackson, too, who's committed to Duke, the wide receiver. They got to get him the ball a little bit more. We'll see what happens, but got to do that. And on the Miller Grove side, I really like he's an underrated receiver, underrated playmaker. Ali Dargan's having a phenomenal season for the Wolverines in 2024. Can Holly Innocence kind of slow him down? We've seen their defense play at an elite level and at a high level. Can they slow down Ali Dargan, who could beat you in the return game and could beat you also at receiver? Phenomenal player. If you didn't see, he had one of those major catches. I think it was a one-handed catch in a Great Atlanta Bash earlier this season. So, phenomenal talent. I'm curious to see who comes out on top in that matchup. If you're Miller Grove, you want to keep chugging forward. You're 1-0. You want to get that region title. Want to get that 1 seed. Play at home for the first 2 games. You're Holly Innocence. You don't want to go 0-2 and dig yourself in that 0-2 region hole. So, we'll see how it comes out on top. Big-time game for both teams. Number 2, senior Nate Taylor commits to UGA. He plays for the Beaufort Wolves. 2024 right-handed pitcher. Has a nice 6'2", 205 frame. Strong athletic build. Really good pitcher. Fastball this past summer worked at 90 miles per hour. He topped out at 94 miles per hour. Fastball played up, got on hitters quickly. He also played in the All-American Showcase for a perfect game. Phenomenal player. A good student as well. Definitely could be a solid starter for you on the next level. So he just committed to UGA yesterday. Big time commitment for him and obviously for the Bulldog program. I think he will be a special player for them. He keeps chugging forward, and that's a player to watch for going forward in the baseball season in the spring. All right, number 3. Going to do a quick preview of Cass Cartersville game. Some quick keys that I have for this game. For Cass, so many playmakers, right? You got Kobe White committed to Georgia. You got Devin Henderson committed to Liberty, right? these guys are elite with the football in their hands, right? And if you get them the ball in space, they are dangerous, right? So the thing is, though, when we see them against Rome, they turn over the ball too many times. I think they had maybe, 3 turnovers in the first quarter, potentially? Yeah, I mean, you're not going to be able to beat an elite Cartersville team doing that. So can they do it? Do they have a chance? I would say yes. They have a lot of weapons, right? We've seen Barry McWhorter. He didn't have his best game against Rome, but he's gotten a chance now to kind of fill out the offense. Or Brody McWhorter, I said Barry. Barry is the one that's committed to Arkansas, the offensive line commit. Brody, first game, obviously was not the best, but I'm curious to see kind of how he rebounds, right? How does he look the rest of the season? We're going to see him up close and personal yet again. The key for Cass is to win the turnover battle. Can they win it? If they win it, I think they have a good chance to win this game, right? They have to be able to do that. They have so many playmakers. Kobe White plays both sides. Devin Henderson plays both sides. Have a pretty good team. Their head coach does a really good job, Steve Gates. We'll see what happens in that one, but they have to win the turnover battle. I think if they do, they got a good shot. For Cartersville, hey, man, just get the ball to Jamari Bryce in space and let him do his thing, right? Get them the ball in space early and often. Let him kind of cook. Let him eat up. He's that good with the football. Kid already has offers from Oregon, Cincinnati, and several others. It's already on the radar for On3 and 247. I think eventually he's going to be a star-rated product, whether that's 3 or 4 star. We will see a bunch of notable offers. And they also have a really good 1-2 tandem in the backfield, Christian Lando and Richard Houston. Both of them have combined for over 500-plus yards rushing this season. Will be interesting to see who comes out on top in this game. But I think those are the keys, right? Cartersville, and then obviously you got Cass. We'll see who comes out on top. But those are my keys to that game. Quick preview, who I got coming out on top. Number 4, Loganville Christian Academy, Sydney Stewart. She just won Region Player of the Year in volleyball. She's having a phenomenal season. Wanted to give her a shout-out. That is not easy to do. She's doing a great job in volleyball. Wanted to give her a quick shout-out. Phenomenal year so far for her. And the number 5, Adriana Figueroa, named Peach State Volleyball Player of the Week. She had 30 aces, 29 kills, 64 serve receptions, and 33 digs. Phenomenal week for her. Continuing to trek forward. Phenomenal. Great play for her. All right, number 6, right-handed pitcher Judge Spears just committed to Georgia Tech. He had a really dominant performance in the PBR Cup. Showed kind of his ability. 2025 class. Tech getting a really good pitcher and outfielder as well. Great player for the program. So wanted to talk about that commitment as well. He's doing a good job. All right, number 7. Got to give some love to softball. This is reported by Sports Guy Marv. J.C. Harrelson, she was 13W MAZ News Athlete of the Week. She has 9 home runs this season, and she's batting a 4.94 batting average. Also, getting it done in the classroom with a 4.0 GPA. She's doing a great job. She's getting it done on the diamond and also off the diamond. So they highlighted her as the Athlete of the Week. She's doing a phenomenal job. That is number 7 for me. Number 8, a player to kind of watch, kind of heating up on the recruiting trail, Jason Worth. He's doing a good job so far. Plays for Aquinas. Recruit Georgia also said he's a 2020 prospect to watch. If you're kind of on Recruit Georgia's radar, you know you're doing something right. So far this season in 6 games, 9 sacks, 18 tackles for loss, 64 total tackles. Kid is doing a good job. He is going to be a player to watch for going forward, not only this year but also next year as he continues to get an increased role. He's doing his thing down there in Aquinas, doing a good job. That is number 8. Now, number 9, we got a graphic to show you guys. Georgia Elite Classic latest invites have been sent out. So we're going to just talk about the names that got invited real quick. That's number 9. We're going to roll it up and talk about it. All right, so congrats to all the players that got invited. I'm pretty sure more will be sent out. There's a story coming out too, I think. Let me see if it's been updated. If it hasn't, I'm not going to break it. If it has, I will talk about it. Let's see. Okay, it's not been posted yet, so I'm not going to talk about it. But go to Score TL. We're adding another game to the Georgia Elite Classic. I'm not going to say what it is, but that's going to be up on ScoreATL.com. Go there to read about which game that's going to be. All right, so seniors that got invited, Muhammad Alcine. We seen him at Georgia High School Media Day for Discovery. Big-time kid. He's having a good season. I think it's going to be really good for him. Discovery's obviously not, having a great record, But this will just be a chance for him, a 2024 player, to kind of showcase his skill and his talent. I think if he have a major time game, he could show this film to college coaches and things like that, potentially get some major offers going forward. You got Noah Pryor, tight end from Athens Academy, Hayden Mendugal from Raven County, linebacker, long snapper. Excuse me, defensive back Joseph Mosley from Marietta, Hassan Sykes from Tucker, really great player. Got to talk to his dad a little bit over the summer. I really raved about him. He is a USF commit. Reese Fountain from Rome, we'll get to see him again in the Georgia League Classic in December. He's having a good season for Rome. They're going to be one of those teams that's going to be there in the 6A playoffs to watch for, possibly can make a semifinal appearance again. Parker Shattuck from LaGrange, we know how good he is. 3-star prospect. Got Elliot Gogans from Pepperell, offensive lineman. Kevin Henderson from Cass, another great player to watch. For juniors, got Caden Thompson from Cherokee Bluff. Jake Ather from Prince Ave. Tommy Lafayette, really impressive player for Lambert. We talked about one of his plays earlier a couple weeks ago. Just the hurdle he had over the defender. He's a phenomenal player. Can't wait to see him once again. Got Tay Harris, the UGA commit from Cedartown. Kind of lockdown defensive back. That'll be fun to watch him up close and personal. Terrence Spencer, also defensive tackle from Milton Jr. For the sophomores, Zach Wilson, offensive tackle for North Gwinnett. Noah Lavelle from Whitfield Academy. Jay Sanger from South Paulding. Zach Weeks from Oconee County. That's the brother of Whit Weeks, who was starring out there at LSU, getting a lot of playing time as a freshman, as a true freshman for the Tigers. Carter Lucky, that's the brother of Lawson Lucky, who's at Georgia right now, playing at Norcross. Sager Quinn from Calhoun. Bo Ball from Cedartown. Then for freshmen, Max Brown, that is the brother of 5-star prospect Sammy Brown, having a great season. Those two go at it all the time, as his dad's told me numerous of times. J.J. Rumpf from Milton, star freshman. Going to definitely see him have an increased role. You got Andrew Beal, linebacker from North Gwinnett. You got Douglas Callahan from Gilmer, Peyton Chansey from Gilmer as well, and then Gabe Prince. So I know there'll be more invites that'll be sent out. That's so far. So if you haven't received notice from email, if you're watching the show, those were the players that were invited. That's number 9. Congrats to all the players. Can't wait to see you guys up close and personal. That event will be held December 27th through December 29th and will be streaming on Peachtree Sports Network. Rusty Manziel will be there. Brendan Adams will be there, and several others. So go check that out. That will be a lot of fun at the end of the season, our All-Star game. All right, number 10 to conclude the show, USA Basketball. And I think I'm going to write a quick article on this. They are having a junior national mini camp that's going to be October 4th through the 6th. Several Georgia players will be in attendance, including Akai Fleming from Osborne. Bryson Tillers is Overtime Elite. That's kind of a basketball league for players that can kind of go directly to the league. And then Caleb Wilson for Holly Innocence, the 5-star player. Another coach that will be in attendance that's elite, just won a state championship with Pace Academy. Sharman White also will be in attendance. So big time camp. That's Hoop News. That will be a lot of fun to see. That will be in Colorado Springs, Colorado this weekend, or this week actually, for a great showdown. One last thing. This is not in my top 10, but I thought a great feat for the Grayson volleyball program. Craig pointed this out to me. Excuse me. Grayson won a region title. They had a tough season last year. They defeated Brookwood. Brookwood is, I think, 36-8 this year. Grayson had 9 wins last year. They are 23-9 with a region title and will be the number 1 seed come playoff times. Yes, the playoffs are right around the corner. I thought a phenomenal win. They won 3-1, lost the first set, and then just heated up. So they are doing a good job. Wanted to highlight their program. Region champs, Grayson Rams, beating Brookwood, who was probably the heavy favorite to win that one. Phenomenal win for them. Got to definitely give a shout out to Craig for highlighting this to me and letting me know. So that's all I got, guys. If you follow me on Instagram at Najeh Wilk TV or Najeh Wilk on Twitter, let me know, as I always do. I do, tell the tapes and film breakdowns every single week on my show. So, if you want me to break down your film, shoot me in the DMs on Twitter and Instagram. Would love to break it down. Really enjoy breaking down the players today. DJ Bordeaux from Alpharetta, Jamari McIvory from Savannah Christian Prep, and also John Cenas from Grayson. So If you got any film you want me to look at, definitely hit the DM, man. Appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll be back for another episode with Craig's show tomorrow. Quick preview. Craig is going to have on head coach Matt Helmrich. I hope we do the game on TV. They're going to play Norcross, I think October 27th, I believe. That's going to be for a region title. I just got to be honest. I really think so. I know they're going to play North Gwinnett here soon, but that Norcross versus Peachtree Ridge matchup is going to be interesting. Darnell Kelly's a top player at the quarterback position in the 2026 class. I would love to see that game in person. But he's going to have him on tomorrow to talk about the 6-0 start. They off to a great start. I think one of the better ones in program history. So he's talking to him tomorrow. Maybe Cartersville coach as well. So that's going to be a drive for the GHSA state title tomorrow. You can look forward to that. That's all I got for today. Enjoy the week. I think Bears Commanders is tonight on Amazon Prime. And last thing, October is a great month, guys. And the reason I say that, got NBA about to start up, MLB playoffs, NFL season kind of getting into the thick of it. It's just so many great sporting events going on right now. So definitely watch some this weekend. Will be a lot of fun. Go Braves, and we'll see if they come on top against the Phillies and kind of get their revenge. But that's all I got. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.